Hello, gearheads. This is Patrick again with another product review. First impression, pros and cons of this keyboard by Ketron, the Event Ketron 76. What I like and what I don't like about it. Okay, so starting first, what I like about it is the sleek design, exterior sleek design. From looking at it, looks beautiful, but when you get close to it, you start seeing some flaws, etc., and some functionality that could have done better in terms of designs. All right, so let's go with the pros before we get to the cons. The pros, it sounds amazing, very realistic uh, sounding arranger keyboard. Design is also another pro. Keybed are beautiful. Semi-weighted key. Button layouts looks nice. A lot of buttons versus some of the predecessors, SD9, SD60, and SD7. Those have very little buttons to use. Okay, so that is the pros from looking at it. All right, so I'm going to point out some cons. So take a look at these sliders close up. Okay, so we have 9 there and 6 over here. So these sliders were used in the SD7, SD60, and SD9, probably in the SD90 and SD40 as well. Well, here is the SD9, and they're the same sliders. But what they did with the Ketron is that it seems like they just paint it over and then give it those blue lines, okay, and then spray some gloss on it. Now, from the distance, it looks fine, but when you get close to it and feel on it, it feels cheap, and it looks kind of rough when you get close to it. Okay, so that's the con, in my opinion. It just didn't look, you know, nicely made. And for the life of me, I thought that these sliders, these blue stripes here, lights up because it's kind of blend in with the blue background. But if you change this background to a different color, that blue stays the same. So let me show you when I change the background of the backlit light there. So we go to menu and then go to preference, and then so right now I have it on blue. So when I tap on that, I have all these colors to choose. So let's check green out, right? So the backlit is green, but the sliders remains the same, and that blue stripe remains the same. That goes the same thing on that other side. So that's the con. Okay. Now here is the what I think is a designer flaws or designer mishap or didn't take it into consideration is that, so for example, these are the voices banks. You got piano, string, organ, brass, pad, etc. Right? So right there. So there's your pianos, and then go to string. Okay, organ. The organ is just madly loud when you switch from you know, bangs to bangs. It's just madly loud, just ridiculously loud. So, so the rest of the bangs, you know, sounds very leveled out, except the organ is just crazy loud. So watch. So let's see here. We got the sax. Okay, now I'm gonna switch to organ. Just extremely ridiculously madly loud, which, you know, it probably needs some adjustment there. Okay, so let's get to the elephant in the room. So what I was saying was that, for example, so you got all these sounds, some sort of in a preset. So you got your piano set up, you got your string set up, you got organ set up, you got your brass, etc., etc. Okay, so when you are in the voices there, every time you switch, the sound follows you. See? Okay. Vice versa is that if you are, let's say I'm in the piano now, okay? I'm in the piano now. So if you are in the style, okay? So for example, I'm gonna turn down the style a little bit there. Okay? So you're in the style now. Let's say if you want to use these sounds of voices bank, okay? So whatever the last voice that you used, regardless of what banks you press here, the sounds doesn't change. Okay, so for example, right now we are in the piano, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go to strings. I still get piano. Go to organ. I still get piano. I go to brass. I still get piano. So on, so on. The only time that these voices bank changes is when you are in the voices bank or the voices tab right there, right? So now grand piano, it plays grand piano, string, it plays strings, organ, it plays organs, so on, so on. So in my opinion, that's the flaws right there. So they should have like a dedicated button to switch or to lock in, you know, whichever feature you want to use. You want to have one button. You want to lock in the style buttons, or lock it in the voices button. That's just my opinion. That I believe this is a designer's flaw. So other than that, the keyboard looks very well made. Now, here's from the top view. As you can see, a lot of buttons versus the SD9. This is all the buttons that it has. I wish they would just have another sets of buttons for the styles. In today's technology, I'm pretty sure that can be done. And also, another gripe that I have is the master slider or the master volume. It's on your solo hand, which is 99% of the people that do their solos, their leads, use the right hand. So the master volume, I feel like it should be on the left hand side, like most keyboards would do. So it's kind of odd that when you do your solo and then you have to, use your left hand to adjust the volume on the right hand side versus having it on the left hand side for the master volume while you're doing your solos on the right hand side. So that's just hand coordination is most keyboards preferred. It's and sometimes the engineers, with their ego mind, feels that it, you know, they're not most time engineers are not the one that are playing or players. They don't understand the need for the players' hand coordination. Leo Fenders, he's a designer and in guitars. He doesn't play guitars or bass, but he probably takes a lot of inputs from players and stuff like that. That's why his guitars are still in existence since 1946 up until now, because he listens to players versus some of these engineers nowadays. They have this egotistic mind that they don't really listen to the players, how the player feels about it. So this definitely would be moved to the left side and let your right hand do all the solos. Your left hand controls the volume. So Ketron's been doing this thing since the Audio, I believe. The Audio, the SD7, SD60, SD9, they move the master volume to the right hand side versus most keyboard player would prefer it on the left hand side. But then again, that's just my opinion, and I've been playing keyboard for 30 years. Most of my keyboards master volume are on the left hand side. It's probably great for a left-handed person that plays the keyboard, but then again, the keyboards are designed from the low registration all the way up to high. So I don't know, a left-handed person plays the solo, transposing the key from low to high here. So I don't know how that works. But other than that, those are some of the not major. You could consider it some major flaws if you are into stuff like this. Hand coordination is very, very important to an arranger keyboard players, because they have a lot on their tables. They a lot of buttons to push. So having it in a proper position, proper area is a must. Okay, so that's just my take on the Ketron event, and I wish that they would have thought about it before it was released. Anyways, thanks again for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more in-depth or more of the pros and cons product reviews on gears. Thanks again. Take care.